Hey everyone, I'm Nico, the new community manager for Wyld Land, the 2D bullet hell MMO. I'm filling in for Noli Q, and we're just a little over a week away from Alpha Test 4. I wanted to share some of the new and exciting things that will be in the test, so here we go. First off, the overworld map is going to look quite a bit different the next time you jump into the game. We've updated the map itself to show you the difficulty tier of each area, so you'll have an easier time planning out what enemies you should tackle next. And you may notice the different colors on the map. That's because we now have new biomes. Rather than just the same old tile set you've been seeing since the beginning, we're introducing new areas to explore, including the frozen lake, the putrid swamp, and the fungal waste. These biomes have new art, and some of them also have our first environmental hazard, water. You can dash over water, as long as you make it to the other side, all will be fine. But if you mistime it and land in the water, you'll take damage and be sent back to shore. This adds some interesting movement opportunities to the map, as well as new obstacles to consider when fighting. After all, water doesn't stop bullets. We're planning to build out these biomes further as well, introducing new unique elements and enemies to them that you'll only find in each area, but that will have to wait for the next test. In addition to the new biomes, you'll see another new icon on your world map, which indicates that a world event is taking place in that area. World events are encounters that spawn randomly in certain places in the world, and by completing them, you can earn some cool rewards, and even get a role on the event-specific loot table for some rare loot. Right now we have 3 events in the overworld, including 2 boss encounters, and a defend the cache encounter. When you start an event, everybody nearby is eligible to participate, and you'll get an indicator in your HUD showing how close you are to completing the event. But be careful, because events can be failed as well, and then no one gets any rewards. If the event is completed successfully, you'll receive a reward based on the level of your participation in the event, so don't just watch from the sidelines. We're planning to build out a lot more of these events in future tests, but we love your feedback on this system overall, and how these events feel right now so we can keep improving. Beyond the overworld changes, we've got some changes coming to dungeons as well. We're going back and reworking how our dungeon generation algorithm works, so now the enemies that show up in each room should make a little more sense for the room layout, hopefully eliminating the impossible room problem that sometimes was cropping up. We're also introducing new mutations for the corrupted dungeons, including lucking minions, energized minions, and recovering minions, and we've reworked the frost armor mutation to be way less punishing than it was previously. We've also reworked the enemy pathfinding in the game. It should be much less likely that enemies will get cheesed and stuck behind walls now, which should make large dungeon rooms more interesting. In addition to that, enemies now have a concept of whether or not they can see the player, so they'll save abilities for the right time rather than just spamming them indiscriminately. Finally, we made some changes to the itemization and the infusion system. We're getting rid of the legendary and exotic infusion cores, and going back to our previous system, where you just need to sacrifice the weapon you're using as a source. It added an unnecessary layer of complication and grinding to the game that didn't really play out how we hoped. However, we want to keep the feeling of getting some kind of reward when you destroy unneeded gear. So now when you destroy a weapon or armor, you'll have a chance to receive weapon or armor parts. The chance will be higher for higher tiered gear and rarer gear. You'll also start finding wild essence in the loot box. These items will be used in future update to let you craft some cool stuff, so hang on to them for the next test. In addition to everything we just talked about, we'll also be introducing 3 new dungeon bosses, so you'll have plenty of new content to tackle in Alpha Test 4. Alpha Test 4 begins on Friday, January 31st, so be sure to join the Discord if you haven't already to participate in the test and give us your feedback on the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in Wyld Land.